Hiya, homies and home slices. If you know for a fact that Batman the Animated Series is the best Batman, then you totally know what's up, cause it's so true. Not just for the perfect voice cast of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, and not just cause of the timeless noir design of the cartoon itself. Really, it all comes down to the core code that Batman was written with. Jiggy and I think this was perfectly presented in the greatest Batman film of all time. Yeah, I said it. Mask of the Phantasm.
It's cartoon commotion.
In case you're new here, my name's Cade, your favorite cartoon weirdo, and this is my pet pig, Jiggy. Together we're causing a cartoon commotion with a new perspective on 80s and 90s cartoons. Batman's code has changed a lot of times throughout his existence. In fact, before taking on the role of Batman in the animated series, Kevin Conroy thought of Batman like he was portrayed in the 60s by Adam West, a very campy yet practically spotless Caped Crusader. This definitely wasn't what Bruce Timm or Paul Dini had in mind for their version of Batman. Though their world was greatly inspired by the Michael Keaton movies, their version of Batman could not kill. Batman's no-killing policy started when Robin was introduced in the 40s, but this is the animated series we're talking about, and Michael Keaton was definitely a killing Batman. There are YouTube videos on it. I'm not gonna break that down for you. I'm just saying, but they didn't dumb down the show for any of this to work. Joker was actually still a murderous psychopath. Instead of simply killing people, though, he'd gas them and they'd be paralyzed with a hideous smile on their face. Talk about grody to the max. Ugh. And, of course, I know arguments have been made that straight up killing the Joker would spare a lot of innocent life. Like, why not just end him once and for all? But the reason that Batman cannot be the executioner is because that would put him on the exact same level as the evil that he fights. The Phantasm movie retold Batman's origin without showing his parents' murder. Instead, it focused on a young adult version of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman and confronting the promise that he made to his parents when he was only a child. This story is all about Bruce falling in love with someone in a very similar emotional condition to him, Andrea Beaumont. The two of them connected over their mutual loss, his parents and her mother, and he struggled to keep allegiance to his vow as they grew closer and he grew happier. Their love would heal his wounded heart, but it would also mean surrendering the Batman identity for that love, letting go of his mission in the pursuit of happiness, which he never counted on having at all. There is a great line in this where he admits to his parents that he never counted on being happy again, and it really captures that feeling.
But I didn't see this coming. I didn't count on being happy.
Outstanding performance, phenomenal writing. Bruce was ready to let go of his vendetta, bail on his life's mission as the Batman, getting down on one knee and proposing marriage to Miss Beaumont. He was finally ready to be happy, but it wouldn't last. Sadly, she returned his ring in a letter with a farewell message. After that, he plunged himself deeper into the career of the Batman. What he didn't know was that this was the start of Andrea's path of vengeance. 10 years later, she would come back to Gotham City as the Angel of Death, better known as the Phantasm. Andrea and her father were on the run from the mob of Gotham City. That's why she had to turn down his marriage proposal. The unfortunate truth is that the mob eventually caught up and killed her father. She came back to Gotham for vengeance. She would hunt down every living mobster and end their lives in brutal ways. Ugh. Oh, for sure, Jiggy. There's a way more tame cut of the flick if people can't stomach this more mature version. The theatrical release didn't hold back as much, but I'm kinda stoked that it didn't because it lays down the major distinction between Batman and the evil that he faces. After failing to reach Andrea towards the very end of the movie, Bruce is left sitting in the Batcave questioning everything, telling Alfred that he couldn't save her. Alfred replied that he didn't think she wanted to be saved. He went on to say that vengeance blackens the soul. I always feared you would become that which you fought against. You walk the edge of that abyss every night, but you haven't fallen in, and I thank heaven for that.
But Andrea fell into that pit years ago. And no one, not even you, could have pulled her back.
You see, Alfred's words here really set this version of Batman apart from all the others. Like a guiding light in the darkness, a reminder that he's nothing like the monsters that he fights. A man that walks along the edge of that terrible abyss every time he puts on that cape and cowl. He could have let the spirit of vengeance consume him, just like it had consumed Andrea, but he wouldn't. And that's what makes this Batman the best.
Vengeance blackens the soul, Bruce.
Hey friends, if you disagree, feel free to comment. If you're interested, I'm working right now on producing a full movie breakdown of Batman Mask of the Phantasm for supporters of the show just like you. All you gotta do to get your eyeballs on that is make a one-time donation or buy a subscription on Buy Me a Coffee. Well, we renamed it Buy Me a Cookie because Jiggy and I love our cookies. That's not just going over this whole thing again, it's a full-blown, off-the-hook, maxed-out examination on the entirety of this radically brilliant flick. So don't split just yet, you'll want to catch that, no doubt. Thanks for being here, homies and home slices. You friendos put the commotion in Cartoon Commotion, so we couldn't have the show without ya. Until next time, keep it unreal.
If you enjoyed the show, the only way it grows is if you share it with a homie, so they can know. Come join the commotion, Cartoon Commotion. Come join the commotion, yeah, Cartoon Commotion.
Cookie shoutouts! Eric Grant, Carrie Cube, John Ellis, Legion of Comics, Marcia Sullivan, Sherry Edgett, Kate Utterback, and of course, ToyStalker.com. And just so you know, we are brought to you by the fine folks of the Cereal Box Network. CerealBoxNetwork.com. Lay us out, Jiggy.